everyone. This is State Representative Kate Lipper-Garabedian. Thanks for joining me for Conversations with Kate. Today, I'm speaking with Sara Altukhaim, the founder and owner of the Toyary, which is now based in Malden but originated here in Melrose. The Toyary is a membership-based toy library platform and service devoted to minimizing toy waste through reuse. Since the founding in 2020, Sara spent the last decade studying and working in the field of retail and consumer behavior. And you were an inaugural recipient of the Center for Women in Enterprises Women Entrepreneurs Who Lift Up Massachusetts Award. Sara also participated this spring in my Recycling and Sustainability Day here in Melrose, and all of her kids stopped by. You have 3 of them. So thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell folks a little bit about your professional background, and did you always imagine being a business owner?
No, I did not. I come, as you said, out of 10 plus years of retail and CPG, kind of market research and consulting experience. Worked with like some, the brands that you would use every day, a lot of the manufacturers and suppliers behind that, the big retailers that we shop at. So it was amazing. It was a great team. And it was also 3 maternity leaves, 3 kids. And toward the end of it, it was just, as so many people know, not as sustainable as like a working parent. And so right before COVID, made the decision to say, okay, I'll take a few weeks off, go to vacation to see some family overseas. And COVID hit, and we got stuck there for what should have been 3 weeks. It became almost 6 months.
Wow.
And the Toyary was kind of birthed out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite an origin story.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about your professional career prior to starting the Toyary and how maybe it influenced how you operate it. But I'm just curious, sort of, how did you blend, some of your previous skills into what you're doing now, and what sort of motivated you to pursue this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. What some of the stuff that I really loved researching and talking about in the retail world was how commerce and our kind of consumption needs to change. And I've always been really excited about the environmental side of things and how retail is evolving and needs to evolve because of that. So I think without realizing it that has always kind of been a passion of mine. Once I have 3 kids that are, 1 to 2 years apart, and you probably know this, they go through toys so quickly.
Sure.
During COVID, there was no school for a while, and we were also overseas and had nothing. So toys kind of became a lifesaver, toys and games, more so than they usually are. And they add up really, really quickly.
Sure.
And I think my retail background just clicked in, and it was like, there's got to be a better way to do this, because once I kind of put my market research hat on and went down that path, it was more from a standpoint of more convenience, right? There's got to be a way to do this. Kids, statistically, I think for every year of their age, they have a 2 to 3 year attention span. So that amounts to a lot of toys and a lot of needing to keep your children occupied, and that's their job, right? It's to learn through play. So I kind of got fixated on this. How can we access toys, no matter what their price points are, in a way that's more convenient and cost-effective for parents without totally taking over the whole house? And as I went down that path, it really kind of opened my eyes around the environmental side of things.
Got it.
And starting to realize how much waste actually comes out of toy consumption.
Yeah.
And that has been really eye-opening. And it's kind of the 2 parallel paths together shaped what the Toyary is today.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about my own house right
now. Yeah. So many people.
Right. And also on the waste part, it's not simply, I suppose, like the toy itself, which, gets used a little bit, and then your kid isn't that interested in anymore. But it's also all of the packaging that goes in. You need a PhD to remove some of these toys from all of the packaging material. And a lot of it is not recyclable.
Yeah, it's not. And I think toys are the most plastic intensive industry in the world, if not one of them.
Okay.
And something like 90% of all toys are not recyclable.
Yeah.
And then you got the packaging that you're layering on. You have the broken toys or toys that you can't use because pieces go missing. So I think suppliers are becoming smarter about that. But at the same time, there's the problem to be solved around toy waste.
Sure.
And so it became this challenge and puzzle for me that I just have become obsessed about.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
What is your day-to-day role as an owner of the Toyary entail?
It is lots of juggling. It is very operational.
Okay.
So we have the membership side. We're membership based, and it kind of gives you all access to toys. And really the difference is the amount of toys. There's not a big difference in the size. You can get a massive trampoline and a little puzzle. So there's some really cool things. So a lot of that is managing the day-to-day. We offer just out of convenience. We have almost 2,000 toys and games in our collection. They live online. There's all sorts of ways to sort through them, keeping it as convenient as possible. We also offer deliveries. So the operational side is toys, the outbound toys come in. So it's like a swap.
Okay.
And we're constantly quality checking, cleaning them, like maintaining that side of things, and then just kind of rinsing and repeating that cycle when it comes to deliveries. Right now, since we moved, we have a 2,100 square foot warehouse.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. It has all of our inventory. It's a place where people can come and play and browse.
Wow.
Use it like a toy library, like a physical library. And a lot of people are still discovering us, but a lot of people still opt for delivery because, the alternative is that buy now button.
Sure.
So there's managing that and the delivery side. We also, as an extension of what we're doing, we're able to put together really awesome party packs. So we can now draw themes out. And I think like next weekend alone, we have like a massive Lego party. So we have huge Lego blocks and the dining kits that go with that.
Yeah.
And it's all zero waste. So you can literally throw a zero waste party for kids without producing trash. The extension is also like kids' tables and chairs and stuff. And we also do really fun events at the warehouse. So it's kind of managing that and having some people who support that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you, when you were doing all this research over those 6 months that you weren't anticipating being away, I'm curious, are there other toy libraries or comparable businesses?
Yeah. So it probably was honestly like a 2-month process.
Okay.
Once I knew, I was like, we just have to launch it and learn this way. So it was a quick, probably not the most market research oriented approach to it, given my background, but yes, to go down that path, it was the idea, right? Could we create something that can do this? And then I discovered that toy libraries exist in the world.
Okay.
And in other countries, they are subsidized sometimes. Here, you've got a mix of public and private ones. For me, I felt strongly about that convenience side. Just knowing as a working parent myself, I don't always have time to go and browse. I would love to see it online, get it the way I normally would, but without spending the money and having it arrive at my door. And so we kept it private, and we keep the membership costs low. And again, all access to it. There are discounts to the party packs and things. And it's just kind of evolved along that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the challenges of, opening a small business. You did it during the pandemic. I know just by virtue of you being in a space for a bit in Melrose when it was sort of an incubator style, finding physical space, I'm anticipating was part of a challenge. But what else?
It's probably the hardest challenge.
Yeah.
So when we launched, it's one of those stories that starts in the basement, maybe with 400 toys at most. And a lot of it was donations. So it was a lot of families who just said, take our toys, right? There's not a good place to give your toys when you're done with them. And so I became kind of the collector of that. Basically, it grew to the point where I needed more space.
Sure.
So started to get some storage units. One multiplied. They became bigger. And an opportunity to get a pop-up here in Melrose arose, where we were lucky. The reason we made it work was because it was three startups, all really passionate moms and women. One even just had a baby at the time. So it was just a very fun, at the same time, bonding experience.
Yeah.
We're learning together.
Yeah.
We could afford it together that way. And we all went into it knowing it would be a year's pop-up. But it's been eye-opening as a business owner, just the real estate challenges around here. So I got lucky kind of finding a space in a very non-traditional way, where it is primarily warehouse-based. And so it is zoned for warehouse, but we do, because our hours are limited, it's such a cool space. I want it accessible. So we do special warehouse hours, and people can come anytime that we're open then.
That's great.
To really enjoy and take advantage.
What's the address?
It is 730 Eastern Ave.
Okay.
And it is right along the bike path in Malden.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm familiar. I'm not far from there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I've noticed that you participate in a lot of community events. So you came to the recycling day and did a stuffy swap, which was super cute. And your daughter picked out one for my youngest son.
Yes.
He likes it a lot.
That was so fun.
Moms Unplugged, postpartum support and connection, coffees during school vacation. It sounds like you've got an upcoming event, Schools Out, Sing and Groove.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, just all the things that are going on. Why do you think it's important with your mission to collaborate and connect to these other causes?
I think at the root of the Toyary, it's all about just supporting families, but parents, right? We have so much pressure on us. How can we just make it easier? And kids are so fun. And to see their eyes kind of light up when they step into the warehouse, it's been exciting to be able to share that space with people, but also to promote all the other amazing businesses around us, because together we can kind of form, I think, a really unique solution for people. And the reuse side is so huge, and there are so many ways that we're constantly being creative around reusing toys. I think a cool niche that we fit that I have not seen anyone else be able to do is we take donations of all kinds, and we will harvest replacement parts.
Oh, that's
so
great.
I'm really big on low stress borrowing.
Yep.
Borrow a toy. If it breaks from the Toyary, it's not meant to be in the Toyary. If you lose pieces, for the most part, don't stress. We're not going to charge anyone. We are building a replacement archive for those reasons. And so we'll take toys and games, missing pieces.
Okay.
Because we'll use those pieces as replacement parts, the remainder of them.
That's very cool. So
Yeah.
how would people go about donating to the Toyary or just being involved?
They can reach out to hello@thetoyary.com.
Okay.
If you're relatively local, we can arrange porch pickups, which we do a lot of. People are always welcome to drop donations off at the warehouse during open hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. You sound like you're incredibly busy, already a bunch of events, but any other things that you'd want to sort of elevate or highlight in terms of upcoming things you're going to be doing or future plans?
Yes, there's always exciting things happening. I think a big feature we just launched on the website that not a lot of people, it's always been a perk of membership, is the option to buy.
Okay.
So the idea that you can try all these toys and swap them out, but the one that you really love, we're not going to take that away from you. And because it's pre-loved and because you're paying a membership fee, you get a really good price on it. So all of the items now have pricing attached to them. And that's a benefit of using the toys. And I love seeing the toys that people buy. They're so unique and varied and different. We're doing, in terms of our next event, we have a fun sensory play day that we're working on. And that's with another mom who runs sensory experiences. It's called Three Little Hearts. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I would say the last project that I'm really excited about is stuffed animals. So when we get lots of toy donations, we get stuffed animal. They're a huge part of that. They're not ideal for lending or for putting in the toy library. So I have amazing nonprofit partners we'll redistribute toys to.
That's great.
But there are so many stuffed animals that I know other places won't accept them, and it's more than we can even redistribute. So working on a project where they get special spa days, they get cleaned and bathed, and they get kind of named with stories, and we are now offering them up for adoption.
Okay.
Where people can submit a donation to our Better World Fund, and everything kind of feeds this engine that's the Toyary.
That's really neat.
So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I should know this, but what do you have a sort of targeted age range for your toy? Like, what if people are listening and they've had their own kids? Like,
yeah, it's
4,000.
I would say newborn to about 8 years.
Okay,
and the sweet spot's about 6 months to 6 years old.
Okay,
and it's the inventory is growing constantly.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just thinking about my kids are a little out of that range now, but maybe over time you'll expand to some, the board games I can think of.
That's it. Board
try
games
them
and
out.
Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get out of here on some, lighter questions. And thank you so much again for being here. It's really interesting to learn more about what it takes to run a small business, the challenges, and then how innovative you're really being. And the mission is just so inspiring to me, both in terms of building community, supporting families, and then the sustainability component is critical.
Thank you.
What was your favorite toy growing up?
I mean, I loved many toys.
Yeah.
There's a toy that sticks out to me the most is this, like, it's a Fisher-Price vintage, like, record player.
Okay.
I don't know if you do know what I'm talking about. And you just put, like, a record on top and wind it up, and it would play. And it's funny because we received that as a donation at the Toyary, and it brought back this, like, flood of memories. And it's so interesting, too, to see, even me at the time, record players have not been, like, a thing for a while.
Sure.
But kids just know what to do, and they figure it out. And so I love watching it. I see myself in that too. So that's definitely one of my favorites, and it's still around.
How about that? The owner of the Toyary told me you can now buy one of them. So maybe that'll go off. Yeah, if you get another one, you may need to buy one. And then finally, any thoughts on like a small sustainable action that each of us could do on a daily basis? I'm curious because you have such great insights.
I love that question. I think once you start going down the path of borrowing, no matter what area it's in, it is infectious and it's kind of contagious. And one thing that I've also become very deliberate about is when you go, we're surrounded by ads and marketing and recommendations and social marketing and viral stuff, and it's just like, oh, I need this or I want it right now, and it's so easy to like click on it and have it tomorrow. But just to stop and think, okay, can I offer it? Can I ask about it on Buy Nothing? Right?
Yes.
We have all these cool resources. Can I check?
I've gotten a number of piano sheet music through Buy Nothing, right? So
totally. Or even like Facebook Marketplace or your thrift store. There's so many cool like levers that we can pull now to reuse.
Yes.
And some of it's really great. And for the Toyary, I try to take that workout, right? You're getting something that's complete and whole. And it's fun too along those lines to hear. I'm now hearing from members who are like, we check the Toyary before we go to Amazon.
That's great.
And it's beautiful because it's working,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sara, for being here. What's the website?
It is thetoyary.com.
Okay.
And everything you need is there.
That's wonderful. Well, I really appreciate getting a chance to talk with you more about small business in the district and, sustainability, your mission. And I'll have to check it out too. Sounds really great.
Come visit.
So thanks everyone for listening to this Conversations with Kate. Be well.